The previous daily high or low is a good point that can give you a lot of information about the following day. Mastering decoding this clue can help you attain a high win rate in trading, and in this video I'm going to show you a powerful high low of day M15 strategy that will give you order in your trading. But before we start, check out my free Telegram channel. I'll leave the link in the description where I share free trading advice, signals, as well as setups. For those who will be wondering why they should listen to me, I'm Sydney and I've been trading for the past 13 years now. I trade for investors and have traded my personal accounts, including prop firms. I've managed to pull a significant amount of money from the markets, and what I teach is to impart pieces of information that I know in the markets. These are some of the certificates from the prop firm I've traded for. I also teach you how to do the same by yourself. So basically in this video, we are going to talk about 1. Market maker accumulation, where everything starts and how market makers jump into the markets. Then 2, we are going to talk about stop hunt moves. Then 3, we're going to talk about the long sustained run, where you want to get involved and where you want to pull the trigger. Then lastly, but not the least, we're going to talk about trade management, where to enter and where to exit. That is both on the stop loss side and on the take profit side. So be sure to stick up to the end. Let's start right on the market maker accumulation. So everything in the market starts with contract accumulation, which is basically taking in orders, inducing people, convincing people to open trades, because your account is of no use to the market makers if you do not have active trades. For market makers to enter the market, they need opposite orders to fill their open contracts. This will be achieved by accumulating orders, and the best way for us retail traders to see or not the market maker accumulation is by looking for 2 or more equal highs in a day, or at the high of a day or at the low of a day, depending on the context. If 2 or more highs are noted at yesterday's high or low, then we can actually move to the next part of the strategy. So in this case, I am illustrating 2 equal highs, and if these 2 equal highs are noted at the high or at the low of a day, we now can move to the next part, which is stop hunt move. So after day 1 has shown signs of accumulation, day 2 will need to rip off those particular highs. So in this illustration, we can see these 2 equal highs from day 1 being ripped off on day 2, and that particular effect of ripping off these equal highs is what we call the stop hunt move. This is basically to induce traders to take orders in this particular direction and to hit stops of those who would have entered sales at this particular point. This can be easily described as taking the previous daily highs and shift. After this has been presented, the next part will now to find an entry point. Let's now dissect where you should actually get involved after the stop hunt has been issued and the market has started to give the long sustained run. Before we continue, I want to let you know that you can semi-automate your trading with this 70% plus win rate MT4 indicator in 50 trades. It's called the BTMM Pro and can send signals to your phone. All you need is validating the signal given with just one step and enter. Yes, you can press a prop firm. That's one of the frequently asked questions. The indicator is going for $85 per year. Contact to get a copy now using the link in the description box below. So basically you have these signals. In this case, we can see it's GBP card and the peak formation on latest to be seeked. Then the signal, the current signal. So in this case, we can see there's buy, there's a suggested stop, suggested take profit, buy, suggested stop, suggested take profit, basically like that. So get your copy and semi-automate your trading. Let's continue. So how do we enter using our high low of day M15 strategy? We've said the first thing is to basically see day 1 having 2 or more equal highs. It should not equal highs from the previous day. One of the factors that can be issued is day 1 can give us 1 high and day 2 can give us 1 high early that particular day. So you need to see equal highs before anything is done. Then day 2 must rip off those previous day highs, and then if it does that, we know stops have been taken out and people have been induced in a particular wrong direction. Then after stop hunt has been issued, we must see a 1350 EMA cross first, so that we can confirm if this particular point has locked or is no longer somewhere the market makers are still interested in. And after that 1350 EMA cross, we are to enter at the first pullback to the 50 EMA, as I'll show you shortly on the charts. So the biggest question now is, how do we actually enter the market using this model? Let's have examples. But before we do so, check out my free Telegram channel where I share free setups, signals, as well as advice. The link is right in the description box below. Let's now jump over the charts. All right, this is gold, and I know a lot of people actually love gold, and we are going to illustrate everything that I was talking about on the slides. So this is M15 time frame where you will be trading this system from. And what you can see are my EMAs. These are the general EMAs that we use on this channel. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you won't miss any of the videos that I upload. And whenever I upload videos, these are the EMAs that we use: the 50, 200, 800, and 13 EMA. So the ones that are of use today in this particular strategy are the 50 and the 13 EMA. So what we can see here, we can see that the market actually on the 8th of June 2026, we had these equal highs on this particular day that started here and ended there. We have this high, we have this high, and after that we had this high, and this particular candle pierced above the previous daily high. This blue tracer is marking the high of the previous day, so it's just marking the highest price of this day, and the highs were ripped with this particular candle. And after that, we want to see a 1350 which was issued here, and after that we now wait for a 50 EMA touch and then a closure below the 13 EMA. A 50 EMA touch was issued here and the candle closed below the 13 was here. So we want to enter at this particular candle closure, and our stop loss should be above structure and our target should be at 2R or any positive reward to risk ratio, that is 1.5 or 1.2. Anything above 1 will be acceptable for this particular strategy. So we start to look again for a particular point that we could have made an entry. We can see now on the 17th of June the same rules played out. We had equal highs that were issued on this particular day 1. Then day 2, what happened? We had this induction move to the upside where people actually got in to go to the upside like that, but later to see the market shifting violently right to the downside, and we had a crossover of the 13 in blue and in red and the 50 in blue. And after that, what we see is the market went to the 50 and gave us what we call a trap above the 50. Sometimes it doesn't touch and reverse and close below 13, but sometimes it goes right above the 50, trap above the 50, that is, have activity above the 50. And in this particular instance, where we want to enter is to see a candle closing below the 50, below the 13 as well. So in this case, the candle was this one, this hammer, or this particular engulfing candle. Any one of those could be an entry, a proper entry point, but your entry should be below the 50 and below the 13 EMA at the same time. And then our stop loss above structure, our target at 2R, basically like that. So if we start again to look, we can see someone may actually say, how were we going to treat this particular scenario? This pierced below the yesterday's low, but what we want to see is equal lows right at almost the end of the day, not any piercing. We can see here we had equal lows right at the end of this particular day, and then what happened on the following day? We had this particular drop right below yesterday's low, and then we started to go to the upside. A 1350 EMA cross was issued, and then the market went back to the 50 and then closed right above the 13, which actually is a move that accommodated a 2-to-1 reward risk ratio. So we can actually keep on looking for that particular points. We can see here we had these equal highs, and after those equal highs, what did we get? We had a rip above the equal highs and a closure, a 1350 EMA cross. Then we had this particular retest of the 50, and the market started to go to the downside. We can keep on looking for more examples, and you can as well do so. You can see we had two equal lows here, low 1, low 2, and then we had this particular rip off below yesterday's low, and then after that we can see a 1350 EMA cross after we can safely say after liquidity grab was issued, and then a 50 EMA touch, a candle close below above the 13, and then we can see the market actually went right to the upside vehemently like that. So it can work on gold, it can work on any tradable asset. I had to have this particular example so that we can see that there is also a probability for you to lose. We are not going to have only winners, but losers will also come. We can see there was this particular rip off below yesterday's low. Yes, that was correct. And then we had a 1350 EMA cross right at this particular point. And after that 1350 EMA cross, we can see this touch to the 50 and candle close above the 13, and the market reversed right to the downside like that. This was going to end up as a stop loss that was hit on this particular first entry. After the market gave us another point of entry, that is after trap below the 50 and closure above the 50, we could have made another entry, and then the market actually went to the upside like that. So it doesn't mean if it's a good strategy, it doesn't mean it doesn't lose. It's a good strategy, it means it wins more than it loses. So you need to be on risk management always. So this is basically what I wanted to tell you for today, and I'll see you in the next one.